Okay, so welcome to another installment of Room Talk Thursday. This will be my first Room Talk video now that I am 30 years old and full of dusty old bones full of green dust. So, if you watch this channel pretty regularly, you might notice a couple things. One, the camera is really fucking close to my face right now, and two, I'm using a different angle and showing off different posters. There is a very particular reason for both of these things. So, I got a couple, is some birthday presents. I got one from Clay, and then I got one for myself that arrived yesterday. And they're both right behind my head, so this is just a fun way of showing them off with a slight reveal. So, 3, 2, 1, here they are. So, I would zoom in. I tried to do that earlier and it didn't work, but you can see a Hibiki figure from Symphogear. That was the one I got for myself. And then, yeah, Clay got me the Beatrice portrait, so now it's just there in my room, and I fucking love it. And yes, I go to sleep at night, I wake up in the morning, or I just walk into my room and I see it, and there is a very audible Beatrice every fucking time. And I'm so just happy that it's there. I loved Sea Cats so fucking much. I appreciated this a lot. He had even told me, he's like, I was considering getting you a Beatrice body pillow. And I'm like, thank God you didn't. A, this is so much better. And two, degenerate that I may be, and by may I mean am, degenerate that I am, I'm not a body pillow guy. That just doesn't do it for me. I mean, if that's your thing, that's your thing. It's just not mine. So I was like, I'm glad you went with this. But in addition to that, other regular Thursdays. Oh, I guess this is also a birthday thing. So yesterday, like around 11:30 or so, I was going to get gas because my car is getting really low. And I was driving to get gas. A fucking shooting star is shooting above, and I'm like, man, like literally the 11th hour of my birthday, I'm seeing a shooting star. That's kind of cool. That's got to be a good omen. So I made a wish, which of course I can't share, but it felt pretty cool. I had also said that that I do want to start weaning myself off of the lottery, and by weaning I mean just stop buying tickets. But for my birthday, since there was a drawing on my birthday, I had to do it, and I decided I would play my birthday as the numbers, and I actually got something. I only got 2 numbers, so I think that's like $4 or $5. Like, it's nothing much, but it is pretty cool to have quite literally as possible bet on myself and actually get something out of it. It might be like I broke even, but like I think that's a pretty cool thing. But on top of that, just my regular shit to talk about. So, VN stuff. There was a VN sale on Steam. I did end up grabbing one. It was You, Me, and Her, which is a Nitro Plus one. It was one I had heard about several years ago. I believe I said this before. Like, I heard about it through Doki Doki Literature Club. I'm very interested in reading it. I don't know when. I might not even get to it this year, because I got a lot of shit on my list this year. But alas, I think it sounds very, very interesting, and I am looking forward to checking it out. With the VN we're doing, I really haven't done a lot of script writing the past few days. No particular reason, I just kind of haven't. But we've done a lot of work on our artist search. Essentially what we did is, like, we had the massive list, went over it, cut it down by quite a bit. Then we each individually went through it and kind of were like, all right, what are the ones we really, really like? Went through our collective lists together, took a few people off, and then we were like, all right, let's do this one more time. I will go through my list and be like, these are the ones I really like. Clay did the same thing. And I went ahead and started reaching out to some of them. Now, some of them I haven't reached out to just because I already know what their numbers are. I know it's like, you are actively taking commissions. I know what your prices are. I'm reaching out to the ones right now where I don't know. So that way, it's like, once I have, I'm like, okay, I know who is available and specifically what it would cost. Now I can make a much better informed decision. And I believe Clay will probably be doing something similar the next couple days. Like, I literally sent out those messages last night at like 1 in the morning because I was awake. But it feels good to be making like, even if I said, like, I haven't been working on the script, I've still been doing something with the project, so I feel productive. with the manuscript I've been working on, that sequel to the thing I finished, I haven't done a whole lot. Just like every now and then, write a few paragraphs on my phone and then send it to myself. I was working on a scene for a couple days, like kind of here and there. We're having a lot of fun with it. I really like it. Again, it's not very far, but I love part one. Just the little bits I've written of part two and the little bits that I've kind of schemed, like, okay, this I think is a good start to this person's arc. This is a good start to like this person's part of the story. Like, fuck, this is cool. I can't wait to just sit down and write it and work on it. I get so happy. In addition to that, I did finish Symphogear GX. I won't say anything about the last 3 episodes right here, my overall thoughts on the season, because I'm probably going to be recording that right after this video. So I'll just save it for that, but I did go ahead and finish it. I watched it a couple days ago. I just didn't do a birthday video on it. In terms of games, I'm done with The Witcher 3. I don't know if I'm going to do a video just really talking about why I decided to drop it. I don't this happened like a week ago, because I think in the latest car talk or room talk video, I was like, yeah, like I'm still playing it. It's going pretty well. It was like 2 days later I was playing it, and I just said to myself, I'm not having fun. And not that I was talking myself into it, like, or anything. I was just playing it like, I'm not having fun. I'm getting actively very, very annoyed. And this is not the first time this has happened while playing the game. I just don't think this is for me. And there's a lot of game left, which granted could also mean it's like there's a lot of time for it to get a lot better. I'm like, I really like the writing. That's kind of, I mean, okay, the music, like the music and like this, like the backgrounds, which I think are really, really good. I think the voice acting is pretty good too. But like the actual game, I don't like it. I feel like the way some of these most of these quests are designed, I feel like I'm doing a lot of dumb bullshit that's there to pad the game out and waste my time. And I don't like my time being wasted. I know people adore this game. I know a lot of people say it's one of the greatest games like of all time. And if you love it, you love it. I know Clay does. I know it's one of his favorites. I'm like, I ultimately just couldn't gel with it as a whole. So I did drop it, and I started playing Xenosaga, or I might be more apt to say I've started watching Xenosaga. Because about 5 hours in, 3 to 3.5 of those have probably just been cutscenes. Now, the gameplay is actually pretty fun. Like, I think combat is pretty interesting. The weird kind of stealth sections that the game has had me do, I think are actually pretty fun. I don't know about the graphics. Like, the music is great, but it's like, this is definitely a game that came out 20 years ago on the PS2. It's like, you know how I like something I've said a lot on my channel, like when I'm talking about games, like old PS1 games, when it's just sprites, I tend to love it. Because to me, sprites are timeless. Like Lunar 2, Tales of Eternia, I'm like, these games hold up really well visually. Because I think the sprites look really good. Something like this, where it's like, no, we're doing like full 3D realistic models, like, yeah, but, I don't know, Chief. Like, this is by no means unplayable. But it's kind of off, and I don't know, I don't think it's intentional. Like, there's some parts that are intentional, like the way Cosmos, like her dead red eyes, that's very intentional. Her very robotic way of talking, that's very intentional. Like, the scene where she wakes up, which very, very early on in the game, where, like, she's in a room with scientists, people are getting attacked, and her pod just wakes up, and, like, the room is super dark. It looked, like, super cold, too. Her just slowly getting up, the helmet comes off, the red eyes glowing, and you see from her perspective all these scientists shaking now that they're looking at her. Like, that is such a metal fucking opening for one of your main characters. And I know, I don't think Cosmos is one of the more, like, popular characters that people really want to get into Smash. I 1000% assume she has, like, a lot of diehard fans that want it, like the way I want Still Bright. But it's like, could you imagine a trailer of, like, a few characters wandering around, like, some kind of space station looking place, and then this pod just opens up, I was like seeing that shit, and then her just coming out, identifying threats, and then kicking everyone's ass. Like, that would be a really cool trailer. I'm not gonna lie. Now, how much do I want Cosmos for Smash? I'm only 5 minutes into her game, so I can't really say. I don't know how fun she would really be. Maybe as I play more of the game, I'm like, alright, I'm on board. But at least from the trailer perspective, I think it'd be really cool. And speaking of Nintendo games, I think this was Sunday. There was another trailer for the Pokemon DLC, because like they did their Pokemon Presents, and it was like only a couple days later. Here's another one. All the starters are going to be here. Well, that's nice. Oh, we can also catch them. That means we can shiny hunt them relatively easily, especially because with the shiny charm, Scarlet and Violet. Huh. I'm kind of down for that. I might want to do that. But regardless, like, that's really fucking cool. I don't remember some of the other things they show. I think they just showed like some different attacks, some new animations from the new they confirmed the typings. Raging Bolt is Elect Dragon, so I'm assuming whatever the fuck Entei is going to be is Fire Dragon. Cobalion, which is Iron Crown, which I fucking I love the names Raging Bolt and Iron Crown, by the way. Iron Crown is Steel Sai, which means that Terrakions then is probably going to be... What is Terrakion? Is Terrakion rock or ground? I don't remember. I want to say rock, so Terrakion will probably be Rock Sai, which off the top of my head, it's like, has that type been done before? Like, it feels like it probably has. I don't think Carbink is. I think Carbink and Diancie are both fairy. Claydol's ground. The alien, like, Behemoth shit, that's just Sai. Sigilyph, I believe, is flying Sai, like Xatu. Has there been Rock Psychic? Okay, probably after this video, like, in the description, I'll, like, look it up and then be like, yeah, this is the Rock Psychic type of Doi, or, there isn't one, what the fuck, I guess we're gonna get a new type. But, speaking of new type, they showed and confirmed there was going to be a 19th Terra type, but didn't really go into details. This, like, rainbow crown looking thing. Which means a couple things. Number one, there is just going to be a new 19th type. All like Rainbow or Aurora or some shit. Which... I'd be really hyped to see a new type and see how it works, but I doubt it. I think it is just going to be a Terra thing. Although, like I said, another type would be fucking dope. My guess is it's really going to be one of two things. Either it's going to be typeless, or you are going to have every type at once. Like, I don't think it's going to be quite the legend plate for Arceus, where it's your type is... maybe actually it'll be something like that. Or it's like, whenever you Terra Blast, it just... Your Terra Blast will be the most efficient type for the moment, and that becomes your primary type. That would be really interesting. I don't know if it'll go that far. So I think it'll either be, you're just every type at once, which is also kind of some bullshit, but it's kind of sick. I think the calculation of that is, if you were every type at once, you would still be weak to rock, which is just funny to me. But, it might be that I really like the typeless idea. I don't know if that's what they'll do, but it's the one that I think is really cool potentially. It's like, okay, you have no weaknesses, but you have no resistances. So you're almost like a normal type. It's like everything you do is neutral. Everything you take is neutral. It's like, in a way, it's like you have really good coverage and really bad coverage at kind of the same time. It's a pretty unique idea, and I don't know if they do it. Of those options, just it being a 19th type is my favorite because of all the crazy shit that could unlock. I doubt it, but I think it would be really cool. Was there anything else? Oh, okay, so there was something else, something actually pretty big. I did end up finishing The Well of Ascension. I finished that Tuesday, so that was Mistborn 2. Again, like, I won't really go into my specific thoughts on it, because I will do something separate for it. I really don't think I will for The Witcher 3. I feel like I have a lot to say about The Well of Ascension. A lot of it is good, some of it not so much. I guess I am talking about my thoughts. I guess the short version is, I liked the book. But, and I really want some time to write out my thoughts, not clearly so I'll know what the fuck I want to say, but also to be like, some of those parts I'm mixed on. Now that I've finished the entire book, I've seen where it went, I've had a few days to digest it. Do I really, like some of those elements now that I've had time? Or now that there's some time, I'm like, nah. I'm not a hundo. I think some of them I'm gonna be like, alright, I didn't love that, but it still kind of worked. And others I'm like, that's some bullshit. I'm not even gonna lie. Okay. I'm very much looking forward to talking about it. I'm definitely looking forward to reading Part 3, Book 3. Haven't started it yet. I'm gonna give myself a couple days. Maybe like Sunday or so. Today's Thursday. I might start it like tomorrow or Saturday. Definitely won't finish it by the end of the month. Hopefully early September. Early to mid-September, I'll be done with the Mistborn trilogy. And after that, and we will also just see what I think of the book. Like, I don't think I'm going to just go straight into the next trilogy or another Sanderson. Like, the next book I want to read is Dune. It's on my shelf over there. But also, depending on what I think of the third book, am I going to be like, maybe I shouldn't read any more of these? Or I'm like, fuck, I know what I'm doing next year. Which, by the way, like, I am interested in reading the Witcher books now. I'm not going to do that this year. I've already said it's like, we're just going to put a pin in that. Well, like, next year, maybe the year after or so. But since I really liked the writing and I like the world building and shit, I'm like, I feel like I should at least give the books a shot. But, that's pretty much it. I know I said I would do the GX video right after this, but I'm pretty fucking hungry. So, I'll probably go get something to eat, and then talk about some gear. But, see you.